poppin'? My name is Cairo. Some of y'all may know me as Mark. Doesn't really matter. So pretty much what I'm doing here is kind of new. Never really tried it before. But you're more than welcome to, come along with me in this adventure. And yeah, let's see what happens. Poppin', y'all. Good morning. All that jazz. Hope y'all slept well. Hopefully y'all have some recognition of whatever it is you were doing last night.
Hey, I remember when
I'm talking about your dreams. In my opinion, what I think dreams are, why we have them, and how you can have more of them consistently. And just to put it in perspective on why it's so important to have dreams. So if you just think about it, you sleep at least a third of your life. It's like 25 plus years. And you're just spending that sleeping. We sleep all the time. Why wouldn't you want to spend that time doing things that are not of this reality, learning things about yourself, experiencing other dimensions, realms, seeing what your imagination can do.
Imagination.
Anything that can happen in a dream, and like anything, things that are beyond human comprehension. It's crazy stuff you can have in your dreams. Visions, insights about your life. You're learning about yourself. You're seeing what you're actually doing outside of this, plane of reality. It's kind of like living a double life. Personally, I've actually had an experience where for like 7 days straight, I was having this dream. It was like one was bouncing off of the other every night, and I was sleeping crazy. I was just putting myself to sleep. I was probably sleeping 13 hours a day for 7 days. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I definitely wrote it down in my dream journal, which is definitely something that helps you remember and have more consistent dreaming. It's good to keep a dream journal because you're able to remember it much, much easier. Because obviously, as soon as you wake up, I'm sure a lot of you, even within the first 5 seconds, you're just what the f-? And so for me, I used to keep a dream journal literally right by my pillow with a pen next to it. So literally even if I didn't remember the dream, it's good to write down your first initial thoughts, because that'll still give you some insight as to where your head was at. You feel me? What is dreaming? Dreaming is your astral body leaving your physical body.
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea?
And you're going to other planes of existence, you're going to other realms, other dimensions.
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Things of that nature, right? Which is why, the same laws of physics don't apply in those realities as opposed to the one we're currently living in.
You think you know how the world works? You think that this material universe is all there is? What is real? What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? At the root of existence, mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality. This universe is only one of an infinite number.
So, how to get into your dreams, mainly you're really gonna want to decalcify your pineal gland.
Open your eyes.
Because with all the stuff that they put in the food, in the water, your pineal gland has gotten calcified over time. Not only that, you most likely haven't been using it, so it's been dormant for a while. But it is something that, is achievable to open over, a decent period of time. And all you really have to do, it comes back to meditating. It's good to meditate. You want to be able to get out in the sun, be in nature. You want to be able to get really in tune with yourself. And there's actually like certain foods, certain things you can drink to also get your pineal gland more active. But before you even do that, you should definitely start focusing on your other chakras, being that your third eye is a chakra in itself, and that's not really something you should just go straight out the gate on. You want to start from your root chakra and work your way up. Your root chakra is at the very bottom, at the very center of your body, and you want to work your way up. So to have dreams on a more consistent basis, as you're falling asleep, you don't want to just fall unconscious asleep. You don't want to just go to sleep, close your eyes, and then just not be present as to where you are in your head, because then you're just going to go black, and that's going to be the easiest way not to remember your dream, you feel me? So as you're falling asleep, it's kind of like you're meditating. Like, you really want to be able to relax your body, calm yourself down.
Here he comes. Pew. Look how quick this thing kills. It was a headshot, but still.
You know, feel like every inch of yourself from like head to toe. And eventually, as you're falling asleep, you want to be able to remain still for the duration. Like, even as, you know, you start to feel these twitches, itches, and you're going to feel like you got to move, which is obviously okay to do as you're falling asleep. But I guess for a more enhanced version and easier way to do this is to, you know, remain disciplined throughout your sleep. And you want to resist any bodily motions that will, you know, cause you to like move yourself. And after you've been lying down in, you know, a comfortable position for an extended period of time, you're actually going to feel changes in your weight. Like, you're not going to feel as heavy, you're going to feel softer, if that kind of makes sense. Have you ever been like, kind of like, if you ever experienced anything like sleep paralysis, but it's nothing like, you know, you're not paralyzed, you still have the ability to move yourself, you're just very sensitive, you're kind of like in a vulnerable state, like everything is, you're really heightened. And so as you're falling asleep at night and you're starting to feel yourself become lighter and whatnot, that's actually, you know, that's your spirit leaving your body, and that's actually what's happening when you're about to have your dreams and whatever. So as you're actually falling asleep, lying down, however you are, a good way throughout the process is actually to just imagine yourself jumping out of your body. You can also imagine like your physical body is sinking into the bed and your spirit body is, you know, kind of rising out, you know, coming out, whatever. And so doing this will give your brain the idea like, okay, well, you know, you're telling yourself what to do. Your spirit is going to respond accordingly. So if you're, you know, giving, it's kind of like you don't want to move your body, but you want to move your body. Like, all right, check it out. Like, I'm going to like try to ball my fist right here, right? And I'm thinking about like making my hand a fist, but I'm not making it a fist. It's kind of like that, you feel me? Another thing about dreams is, since a lot of people are starting to understand what manifesting is, you know, so while you're dreaming, while you're sleeping, that's also another form of manifesting, creating the world that you want for yourself, you know, attracting those things that you want to come to you. You feel me? Like, you're always doing that. Like, manifesting isn't something you just all of a sudden decide to do. It's throughout your life. Like, it's happening at an unconscious and subconscious rates. So it's not just when you want to. That's why it's important that you always have to like feed your mind like positive things. You know, I used to be really into like scary movies and like I used to listen to like all this horror stuff on YouTube. I used to watch creepypastas and stuff, and it wasn't happening like per night I was watching them, but over time I started having some pretty dark thoughts, and that would be like, you know, the equivalent of me manifesting those subconscious ideas that I was feeding myself over time. And I've had some pretty, like, I'm sure y'all have some pretty nightmares or night terrors, whatever you want to call them. Like, it can be wild, man. Like, anything and everything can happen in your dreams, and it's so unsuspecting. That's why it's so important that you have to, like, you know, feed your mental positive stuff, you know. And because there's also like there's some mad you can experience. Ignore that. Like, I'm sure a lot of people have been curious, like, what it's been like to fly or whatever. Like, I've done that on several occasions in my dreams, and honestly, whenever I realize I have the ability, then that's like, you know, it's like secondhand nature to me at this point. Like, it's like there's like, you can do that, all these different things that you can experiment because you're inside of your own world. Like, it's your world when you're dreaming. Even if you're not aware of it, you are. Nightmares sometimes may get even more scary if, you know, you're unable to escape. For me, I've actually always been able, even since like a young age, I've actually been able to escape my dreams, and it's been weird. It's like I inherently know that I'm able to like pull up a menu, kind of like in a video game, and no matter what, I'm always able to do this, and it'll ask me like if I want to quit or not. And if I say yes, I'll immediately wake up. Like, I'm sure other people have like their own triggers. Like, that's just always been something for me, and it's like, that's just really interesting. And so, dude, dreaming is wild. Like, you can talk to your ancestors, you can find out who you were in a past life, find your spirit animal, you can find out like, it's so crazy, and this does so much for you. You wake up, in my opinion, I wake up feeling so much better after like a fire dream. Like, you can have sex in your dreams, and in my opinion, it's better than the real thing, no doubt. So, you know, I'm all for dreams, man. I think it's definitely important to get in touch with that stuff. It's so cool, and it's like, it'd be really a shame if you just decided to like not go, you know, a whole portion of your life not experiencing so much of the unknown and like your own imagination. You just gotta try that shit, man. It's so cool. Like, you're in creative mode, you feel me? Like, it's your playground. Like, and like, once you get good at it, you can definitely start becoming more lucid, taking control. Like, you know, it's literally you're taking a break from life to make your, like, you know, it's so cool. And so I just think it's pretty important. And so how to have these things, man, I think I've already talked about that. But that's pretty much all I got to say about dreams for now. There wasn't too much I had to say. It's just something I think everyone should, you should try it out. If you've never had dreams or you don't remember your dreams, then you should definitely consider it. It's don't sleep. But that's funny. Also, I didn't tell y'all this, but there's actually some surefire ways that you can kind of force a dream upon yourself, you know? There's actual frequency music. There's things like binaural beats that you can listen to. And if you're really living like that, you can actually, and if you're curious, I'll put it down somewhere, that you can listen to the Emerald Tablets. You can listen to a reader go over it, and it's crazy. It tells a story, and I'm not really going to say too much about it for those who actually are interested in what it is. But if you listen to the Emerald Tablets, it'll definitely give you something. That's definitely the best way I can put it. And literally, whenever I listened to it, every night, it didn't matter what I did, I was having a dream, and it was really, really vivid. First time I did it, I was with the Power Rangers, dog. It was crazy. Like, straight up, they were just doing flips and shit. And I'm like, yo, that's badass. It was really short-lived. But I was with the Power Rangers. That was so cool. Like, next time I had a dream and I was listening to this, I ended up seeing my godbrother who had passed away some years ago. And I was so happy that I got to have, you know, what's the like clarity that I finally got to have that closure of being able to see him again after so long. It's like, it's been mad years, and like I was just mad happy that I got to do it. Like, that's definitely like a surefire way to, you know, make that happen for you. But, you know, it's kind of not the easiest to, you know, dive straight into. Like, the story's really interesting, and it's a voice talking to you, so, you know, not everyone might not be so comfortable with listening to things like that. But other than that, yeah, you can listen to, like, you know, binaural beats. Like, they have frequency music that'll definitely, like, you know, relax your body, calm yourself down, slow down your heart rate. And as long as, like, you know, you're staying, you know, pretty conscious throughout the process, eventually your body will confirm to you that you are, in fact, asleep. You feel me? So, and it's crazy because I can always remember vividly like as like I'm falling asleep, if I'm remaining conscious, it kind of feels like you're traveling through hyperspace. Like if you ever seen like some trailer or any clips from like Star Wars or some shit when they're flying in space, and it kind of is like, they got the lights coming at you, like those little white lights. Sometimes it's like I'm being shot through a tube, like with swirls, and in like, the blind spots of like, when you close your eyes, things in like the very deep corners where like you can't really see well. Like it's like you'll see colors like start to morph. You'll see like, some geometric patterns start to happen. Like, it's crazy. Like you actually feel the process of yourself going from like, your body, like in your physical, out into the asteroid. Like you feel the transition. Excuse me. Which is, it's crazy. It's an amazing process. Sometimes it kind of can be startling if you're, not sure what you're looking for, or if like, sometimes like the feeling might be something that you're not used to. Sometimes you might, panic out. My best advice, don't do it. Just go through it. You're always going to be safe. Nobody can hurt you, physically. But, you definitely do want to be careful though, because if you are staying conscious and you end up like, shooting yourself out of your body, you're going to be pretty lucid in your dream, most likely. And if you end up in, a place where, it's not kind of where you expected, you have to make sure to like keep your mental sane. Like you don't want to panic and freak out, because that's not going to do you any justice. You want to be able to like, remain calm. Remember that, everything you're seeing can't actually hurt you. And, and if like at any time you're not feeling for it, like you can just always wake up. Like, you always wake up. That's the best part about a dream. Like even for the good or bad versions, like, if it's good, it makes you, feel grateful that you got to be there for that moment. If it's bad, thank goodness it wasn't really happening. You feel me? So it's dope stuff, but there's definitely some surefire ways to definitely get you on that path real quick. And I'm going to drop like, the foods that you can eat, the crystals that'll like, put you on that level. Things like apple cider will definitely help you decalcify your pineal gland to get that bad boy going again. You want to be meditating, really playing with your imagination, and give yourself like, a goals. Like give yourself something to play around with. Like think about throughout the day, which is actually what you should be doing if you haven't already. Like if you haven't been having dreams already. Like think about throughout the day, like, oh, am I dreaming? Or like, is this real? Like ask yourself that type of stuff. Like, give yourself some sort of cue that's like, oh, like you can, decipher reality from, your dreams. Because and as you're doing that, like you're putting it on your mind. Like you want to, like, if you haven't actively been having dreams, you want to think to yourself like the idea of having dreams, like what you want to experience. Like, you want to really put yourself in that mindset. Like I'm telling you, like that stuff really works. And there's some beautiful things you can see, like things that you've never seen before. Like if you probably, like some people may have recurring dreams, but how often are you actually having the same dream? Like your dream can be whatever you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like it can be anything, man. You can experience a level of happiness you didn't even know existed. It might not last forever, but that's what makes it so special. You feel me?